Alright, so in grade 9 and 10 you solved quadratic equations by factorizing trinomials. Okay, and the trinomials you factorized were quadratic trinomials. And then in this grade now, you'll be introduced to two new techniques of solving quadratic equations. The first method is called the completing the square, and the second method is the famous quadratic formula. Okay, probably some of you have heard about the quadratic formula. Right. Now, without taking too much time, I'm just going to do some examples on factorization. This is like repetition of grade 9 and grade 10 work. Okay. Let's start with number 2. So if you're given 2x minus 3 times 2x plus 5 equal to 0, right? As long as you are given the factors of the trinomial, you don't have to start removing brackets. There's no need for that. You just equate each binomial factor to 0 in order to solve for x. You equate, you only do it if you are given two binomial factors. Okay? If you are given two binomial factors, then you just equate each binomial factor to 0. So here you get x equal to 3 over 2, and there you get x equal to minus 5 over 2. So you have done this in grade 9, but it's important that you are also aware of it in this grade, because you are going to encounter different types of quadratic equations. Right, so this is number 2. Then, sometimes you can have a binomial factor and a monomial factor. Okay, like in number 3. So I'll just do number 3 quickly. So number 3, you are given p times 2p minus 3 equal to 0. You don't have to factorize it. You just equate the factors to 0. So you have p equal to 0 or p equal to 3 over 2. So that's straightforward. Right? No stress. Now, these types of quadratic equations, when you write metric next year, the first question will be on factorized quadratic equations. Alright, so let's move on to one where you need to factorize. Number 8. I expect to write this quickly. Can I move on? So let's take number 8. So number 8, you're given m squared plus 7m. M squared plus 7m equal to 0. Right? Now, here we have got a binomial, but the binomial is quadratic. So you factorize by a common factor, so it will be m times m plus 7 equal to 0, which means m will be 0 or m will be negative 7. Okay, again, this is also straightforward. Right? Then, sometimes you can have a difference of 2 squares, like 4p squared equal to 49. 4p squared equal to 49. Now, to factorize a quadratic equation like this one here, there are two ways of doing it. You can just make p squared the subject, that will be method 1. So this becomes p squared equal to 49 over 4. Right? Then you take square root on both sides. But be aware that the square root of any number is a positive and a negative. So it will be the square root of 49 over 4. And the answer for p will be equal to plus or minus 7 over 2. Okay? So you can read it like that. P equal to plus or minus 7 over 2. It means there are two solutions for p. Now, this is more like method 1. Okay? So let me just indicate here that this would be method 1. Right? You can have method 2 whereby you factorize by a difference of 2 squares. Okay, so 4p squared is equal to 49, right? You take the 49 to the left, this becomes 4p squared minus 49 equal to 0. Then you factorize by a difference of 2 squares, okay, which you did in grade 9 and 10. So this will be 2p minus 7 times 2p plus 7. This will be equal to 0. Therefore, p is 7 over 2, or p is negative 7 over 2. Okay, so this is straightforward. Right, now it's your choice when you get a question where you can factorize by a difference of 2 squares. Either you can take square root both sides, or you can just factorize by a difference of 2 squares. Okay. And I can on. Right, then you can have trinomials, like say number 12. Okay, this one here is a very easy one. N squared minus 5n minus 6. N squared minus 5n minus 6. Right, this is very straightforward. That's n minus 3. Check. Rather, it's n minus 6. N minus 6 times n plus 1. Okay? So you get n equal to 6, or n equal to minus 1. Right? So you factorize by factorizing that trinomial, and you solve the quadratic equation by factorizing the trinomial.